Thanks for tuning in to our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an Amazon merch business for sale in the apparel and accessories niche. Created in April 2017, this business makes an average of $1,285 per month in net profit, and the listing number for the business is 46724. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the asset they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Jake.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, great to have you here. Before we get started, I'm going to go over a quick summary of the business. So this business was built in April 2017. This business has average monthly revenue of $1,295, and it's producing an average net profit of $1,285, and that's based on a 12-month average. Included in the sale of the business are Amazon merch account, Merch Informer subscription, PNG files of most designs, and 639 unique designs that have not been listed on Amazon. All right, now that we've got a few details on the business, let's go ahead and get started with the interview. So can you start me off? Tell me a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses.
Sure. So this is the first online business I've ever launched. I've been interested in online business for 4 or 5 years, and this one kind of fell in my lap. I applied to it, not really knowing what it was. After I got the approval, about 6 months after I applied, I started reading online about how people were really doing well with this model. And so I, started designing and learning Photoshop and creating designs. And I started making money pretty much the first month. Second month, made even more money. So I saw the potential with it and I just kind of ran with it.
That's awesome. So, was it the ease of the model that really kind of drove you to want to do Amazon merch? Or, was there something else that made you want to get into this particular line of business?
Yeah, so the hands-off approach or the hands-off of the model really was appealing to me. The fact that you didn't have to touch inventory, you didn't have to deal with any customer service, returns, and so forth. That was definitely appealing. Something I was always looking for or an online business that I could run from home, from a laptop, or from anywhere in the world, as long as there was Wi-Fi. And that's definitely, Amazon merch. So definitely the hands-off approach of the model was the most appealing to me.
Oh, that's awesome. So going off that, tell me a little bit about this business. How does this primarily make money?
So as far as uploading designs, it's all organic traffic. I've dabbled a little bit with pay-per-click, but I never really spent a lot of money doing that. And it was kind of more of a curiosity thing. Majority of the sales all come from organic traffic. So by optimizing the listing with, proper keyword research and making sure that the design, is appealing to the niche that you're targeting. So that's pretty much it, all organic.
Awesome. Well, you've kind of answered one of my questions down the road, which was, talking about the majority of your traffic. So maybe we'll just jump off that. Is there anything else that you want to share about, the majority of the traffic for this business, or, maybe anything else that you're doing in terms of marketing?
So I haven't done anything else in terms of marketing. I haven't done any social media. I haven't messed with, like I said, pay-per-click, just barely a little bit, scratch the surface on that. The fact that Amazon has so much traffic, it's unfathomable how much traffic they have. We all know that. The traffic is just so much that I don't even think you could build an entire merch business by organic traffic. Of course, pay-per-click, I know guys that do really well with that, increase their numbers and their revenue with pay-per-click. But I think it's definitely possible to have a full-scale business with just organic traffic.
It's pretty exciting stuff. So why are you selling the business instead of, say, keeping it and growing it?
Right. So, I haven't spent a ton of time on this business. I usually work on it kind of 2 to 5 hours a week. Sometimes I don't work on it at all for weeks or a month at a time. I'm a full-time mortgage professional. I have a child at home, full-time dad. I just don't have a ton of time to spend on it. So I'm really kind of looking at other online opportunities in merch almost 3 years now. It's just something that, I'm looking to kind of explore other opportunities.
Yeah, that makes total sense. It's a lot on your plate when you're juggling full-time parenthood and a full-time job and, a side business as well. So completely understand. Let's talk a little bit about just sort of the history and some of the things that you've learned through having this business. So, is there anything you learned from this business that you would apply to, say, future sites or businesses? What did you learn from building this that just seemed to work?
Yeah, so just Amazon landscape in general, learning how the rankings work, learning how to do proper keyword research, how to optimize titles and, bullet points. I have considered looking at FBA opportunities aside from or away from the apparel industry. I mean, I think the skill set I've learned with merch can easily, transfer over to the FBA world if that's something I want to pursue. But, just the overall Amazon landscape, learning that I think has been a great skill set to pick up.
Absolutely. And of course, on the flip side of that, say, is there anything that you tried that maybe didn't work with this business?
Well, like I said, I mean, the pay per click, I didn't really focus on it too much. I think if I had spent more time on that and maybe, willing to spend the money on the pay per click, I could have. But I don't want to say I necessarily failed with pay per click, but it's something that maybe I wish I would have focused a little more on.
Okay. Well, might be setting me up for my next question then, which is if you were to keep the business, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
Probably a couple different ways. Number one, I would consider outsourcing to graphic designers. A lot of people do that. They outsource to the Philippines where they get, the designs at a good rate. And I would possibly build a team, maybe of 2 or 3 graphic designers that would, do it full time. And then the second part is I would absolutely focus on pay per click. Like I said, I speak with other people in the merch community, and I know factually that people dominate with pay per click, especially when it comes to seasonal trends, holidays, stuff like Halloween, Father's Day, Mother's Day, and so forth. So those are the two things I would do if I were to keep and grow it.
Absolutely. We always try to make sure that we're setting up kind of both sides of the story. So we've talked about opportunities. How about the risks? So what do you think are the biggest risks with the business that a buyer should be aware of?
Sure. So number one, it's Amazon's, it's their sandbox. Everybody knows that. Even in the FBA world, Amazon can shut down your account. It's rare. I know that people that get their account shut down are blatantly infringing on trademarks, but that is always a risk. If you upload a design that has a trademark, you could get shut down. So you just have to be careful to not, to do trademark research and make sure that what you're uploading is not. But I would say that's probably the biggest risk is a termination or suspension from Amazon. I've never had one in almost 3 years I've been doing it, but I know people that have 4 or 5 times the rejections that I have, and they haven't been terminated either. So that's probably the number one risk, although I don't think it's a huge risk if you're playing by the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the way you set that up. Everyone knows it's Amazon's sandbox.
Yeah.
So that's a good way of looking at it. How about this? So, what skills or requirements might there be for someone not familiar with this business model?
Well, it depends on the approach of the person taking on the business. If you want to design yourself, obviously some graphic design experience would help right off the bat. I had zero design experience when I first started. I learned Photoshop on my own. If you really wanted to hit the ground running, like I said, outsourcing to, graphic designers and getting those designs created would absolutely help you. So in my opinion, if you were to really want to grow this business, I would say, and treat it like a business, outsourcing to graphic designers, managing the other aspects of the business like pay per click, getting your listings optimized would be the surefire way to really grow it.
Absolutely. That's super interesting. So you're saying that you didn't have any design experience before doing this. I think you did a number of designs in this business, right?
Yes, I've done probably, if I had to put a guess on it, 80% of the designs myself. So yeah, I just watched YouTube and learned how to do it. It became a little bit of a hobby for me. That's one of the reasons why I'm wanting to sell because, I did kind of treat it as a hobby. I'd come home after work, design for an hour and it was fun. I enjoyed it. But I think if somebody wanted to treat it as a business, there's other aspects of the business you could really focus on that would grow it exponentially if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's very impressive that you went from, starting to learn not only like this business model, but actually design from scratch. So very cool that you did both and mixed them at the same time. So cool.
Right.
Moving on to support. So let's talk about that. How much support are you offering buyers?
I think I put in there that I would offer 30 days of phone support or email support. If the 30-day period ends and the buyer needs some additional assistance, they reach out to me. I'm more than happy to support them. I think a full 30 days of support would be sufficient to really learn the model and hit the ground running. But I mean, like I said, if that 30-day period comes and they need more support, I'm more than to get on the phone and help them more.
Okay. And would you commit to a non-compete?
I would, yes.
Great. Putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
The main reason is because it's Amazon. They're growing it. This is a program that when you're in the merch community, you can, you read the news, you hear about what they're doing. They're putting a lot into this Merch by Amazon program. They've opened 2 additional warehouses dedicated strictly to printing t-shirts and other products. They're constantly rolling out new products, such as pop sockets, hoodies and so forth. So that is probably the main reason. I think Amazon is taking this serious and they want to grow it. They want to be the biggest print-on-demand company in the world, if they're not already. And so I just think it's not going anywhere anytime soon, and it's going to continue to grow, revenue-wise.
Awesome. I don't get to talk to merch sellers as often, so I'm just curious. Do you have any, particular advice for those interested in merch and wanting to get in? I think any sort of advice you would tell hopefuls, or maybe yourself when you had started, on how to build a really great merch business?
That is a good question. I would honestly just start reading up on it. There's a ton of information, a lot of good blogs from top sellers, and they even show their numbers so you can see what kind of revenue they're doing. And you can get a lot of info from just reading up on it. There's also some really great Facebook groups you could go through and read the posts. I have a friend who got in this. They got approved about a year ago. The first thing I told him was go join these Facebook groups and read through the posts, because there's always sellers asking questions and getting feedback from, other sellers. I think that would be a wise thing to do for someone getting in this.
Yeah. Do you happen to remember any names of groups or blogs or anything like that?
Sure. So there's 2 Facebook groups I would recommend. The first one is Merch Momentum, and the other is Merch by Amazon Mastermind. Both of the guys that run those pages they do over 5 figures profit per month. And so, they're definitely guys to listen to.
Awesome. I think that's really great advice. Again, it's really cool to be able to talk to a merch seller because I don't get to talk to them as often. So thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I might have missed? Anything that you would like to share about the business?
Well, not off the top of my head. I think the potential of the business, like I said, I've put in not a ton of time into this. And, I think I've done fairly well for the amount of time I put into this. If someone were to come in and really treat it like a business, not a hobby, really grow it, focus on, pay-per-click and just putting up quality designs, I think the scalability is high, so that's probably what I would say there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it sounds like you've gotten this business to a pretty exciting point in time. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out for you. Yeah, I appreciate your time today. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens for you next. So thank you.
Perfect. You're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you calling today.
If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And if you want more information, the link will be below the video that'll take you to this marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and want more information, become a depositor today. When you make the deposit, one of our business analysts will be in contact with you and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. Have a great day.